All right, let's get to our mailbag segment. We ask you guys to submit questions to us each and every week, and whether it's on social media or by email, whatever it may be, send us your questions. And we get plenty of questions this week, and we'll choose a couple of them for Joseph here. First question, Joseph, is
Okay.
from Brandon. Brandon wants to know, how old were you when you started playing the keys, and how old were you when you fell in love with playing music?
Oh my goodness. I have musician brothers. I'm the second to the youngest of five musician brothers. My older three brothers, three, four, years older than me. And then my younger brother, Victor, is 3 years younger than me. My oldest brother, when he was 10, taught me to play when I was five, taught Victor to play when he was two. So we started playing really young, and I loved it from the time that I started. So I started playing when I was five. Was playing nightclubs when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
Just we started really young. Remember the group War? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? We opened for War in 1970.
Wow.
5 years old. My little brother Victor was. No, I take that back. I was eight. He was five. Um,
That's awesome.
so I've been loving music, loving playing music since I was 5 years old. That's the long answer to that question.
That's awesome. Dominic, he's a musician. You play a couple different instruments, right, Dom?
Yeah, Forte's drums can I can play the guitar very sloppy, play the bass a little step up above that, but no, I've definitely had the pleasure to play the drums with a few bands over the years, and what a privilege it is to take the stage to go play at a gig, whether it be at a casino or at a festival, and just having that honor and privilege to playing with I feel like the musicians I've had the opportunity to play with over the years. And I don't think it's no knock on me. I just feel like I'm sometimes the weakest link or the least experienced, and it just pushes you to be better. So
Hmm.
really always an honor and privilege to play with musicians that you know are just miles and miles ahead of you. And yeah, what truly an honor it is to be able to do that. Hit the recording studio. And man, I can tell you, Tyler, anytime you hit that recording studio, it's a very humbling experience because you can hear back every mistake. The studio
Oh,
does not lie. Man, some of those originals that we had recorded over the years took me way more takes than the other musicians in that room with me. So,
yeah, yeah. The studio is a very humbling experience.
yes.
It's a very humbling experience. It takes everything you're insecure about and magnifies it.
Now, Dominic and I, we've jammed out, together before, and Dominic and I would say we're both, just okay musicians. We're not anything special by any stretch of the imagination, but Dominic's probably a better musician than I am. I'm a drummer. I play some keys, guitar. Sing a bit, whatever. But Joseph, my one claim to fame that I'll give myself credit for, you'll appreciate this as a keyboard player yourself. When I was in, I want to say like fifth or sixth grade, I took piano lessons for about 5 weeks, once a week, an hour for 5 weeks.
Mhm.
And at the end of it, my mom said, "All right, we're going to throw you on stage at church, and you're going to help lead worship playing keys."
Oh,
And so after 5 weeks and learning, the basic chords that I could, my A through G and the minors, just getting what I could get away with, to get through 4 or 5 worship songs, then we were good to go.
wow. Wow, she threw you in the deep water.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
You were leading the worship, huh?
oh yeah, yeah.
Sometimes that's the
Yeah.
best teachers having experiences like that, baptism by fire, as they say.
Oh, absolutely.
Literal
Absolutely.
baptism in this case.
Well, nothing beats experience as a teacher.
Yeah,
Not about it.
yeah. Matt, you play the instruments?
Oh, that's a great question. I had a grandparent get me a guitar when I was really young. I was probably like 8 years old or so, and I was playing with it for. It was an electric guitar, so I had like a little speaker and all that.
Mhm.
Um, had it plugged in and was playing with it for about 20 minutes. I got it to make a really cool noise, and I had no idea how I did it. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta figure this out. I probably played with it for another like 2 or 3 hours. I couldn't figure it out, and I'm like, all right. It's not for me. And that's the last time I think I tried to play anything, to be honest with you. So,
Was that
um,
loud, unique sound a pop? Like, did you do something to the amp, unfortunately?
no, it was a sweet, like it sounded like, I don't know, it sounded like I was shredding it. And I'm like, oh man, I'm doing something right. I thought I was really good for a second, and then I realized quickly I was not. I had no idea what I was doing.
Never too late to pick it back up.
Yeah, I'm glad that I found a steering wheel and a gas pedal, because I was, if music was my calling, I was not it was not my calling. We'll go with that.
Joseph, one thing that I love about music is there's something for everybody when it comes to your levels of expertise. Like you can get somebody just okay, learn a couple chords and we can find a spot for you, or we can get creative and have you playing melodies, or
Hey,
whether it's the guitar, of playing lead, or just getting your chords in, or playing bass. Maybe it's as a drummer here. I mean that no matter your level of expertise, you can fit somewhere within a band or a song of some sort. You can find a spot.
no, that's absolutely right. That's the good thing about music. And if it's superior to competition, if it is, the reason is because nobody has to lose to participate, right? To play music, just to make it happen, you have to do this. Even to listen to it, you're coming to the creation of somebody else. Nothing happens in music at somebody else's expense. In the music business, it does. But in music itself, it doesn't. Music takes all of those different notes, which will never be alike, and gives them a path forward that everybody enjoys. And even if you don't enjoy it, it's not anybody's expense, at anybody's expense. It's just that wasn't my song. Nobody gets hurt with music. And if we lived our lives and handled our differences in life the way that we do it in music, we'd be okay. Because in music, G and G sharp don't argue with each other. You just find a way to make them both useful with them being able to stay who they are. Right? Music, we enjoy it because we hear it's the sound of intelligence taking this mess and turning it into something beautiful. Competition, you succeed at somebody else's expense. And that's entertaining. And there's things to learn from it if you learn a lesson that goes beyond the competition. Like if you play a sport, if all you learn to do is beat somebody else, you know what I mean? You never really get anywhere because as soon as that competition is over, you got to go do it all over again. But if in getting good at competing, you learn discipline, work ethic, respecting your opponent, being on time, the value of hard work. If you learn those, competition is beneficial. But music is bringing people together, and that's the whole reason we're on the planet.
You know, Joseph, I would add another point to that is, you know, whether it's based on somebody's vocal range or maybe lack of what they know when it comes to, their guitar chords or something, you can always get the capo out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Music is inclusive, man. It's inclusive. It is. And like my wife always jokes about how she can't sing. And I remind her that singing is not only for the experts.
Yeah.
Singing is for everybody. Singing is for everybody. Music is for
Even
everybody.
Matt.
What's that?
Even Matt.
Even man.
I don't know about that one, guys. Yeah, I think we're better off without that one.
Well, not everybody wants to sing in front of other people, right? But there's always enjoyment you can get from singing. I mean, even if something hurts, what's the first thing you do? You hum, right? And singing is for everybody. Singing is for everybody.
Another question coming in
Great.
from friend of the show, Chris Lafferty, who not only is a former NASCAR driver, but also a country music artist himself.
Mhm.
He's got a couple things for you, Joseph. First one
Okay.
is touring can be like Groundhog Day, every day the same, hurry up and wait. What do you do to break the uh, monotony and distractions of touring to make it more enjoyable? And what advice would you give a young musician who's starting to really tour for the first time?
Okay. Well, the first part of it is I enjoy one of the main things I like about music is the touring. I love meeting new people, being in different places uh, every day. I mean, I still in the bedroom got a suitcase that's still not fully unpacked. So touring is not a chore um, for me. Now, granted, it was the Steve Miller tour, so somebody else is setting up gear, tour bus. That's a different kind of tour, right? That to me, that's really easy. Somebody else is driving, somebody else is setting up the gear. What do I have to complain about, right? But advice for a younger musician that's touring for the first time, the advice that every musician at every level needs to remember is that when you play music for a living, let's say your show's an hour long. If all you're practicing for is that hour, you forget that the thing that keeps you working, especially when you're on tour and you're around the other people a lot, are the other 23 hours in the day. If you're on a tour bus, you need to make sure that you're easy to, what we call, you're a good hang, right? Because if you're a drag to be around, it makes a tour bus small, right? Nobody wants to be around somebody that's a drag. I call it do the things that don't require talent, do them well, be on time, look the part, be easy to work with, watch who you become when you think that you're right and the leader is wrong. Like, watch how you carry yourself because that gets a lot of people when you think you're right and you think they're wrong, how you handle yourself. Um, all of those things. When you are on a when you're on a tour, if you've got the gig, you're good enough for it. But the thing that will enable you to keep the gig is who you are, right? If the leader gets along with you, if the other bandmates get along with you, if you're on time, if you know the music, if you're prepared, all of that stuff is the thing that will enable you to keep the gig. So my advice is always be good at what you do, but don't just work on the hour that you're going to be on stage. Pay a lot of attention to the other 23 hours in the day, and that'll help you to keep the gig.
I like that.
Great advice.
Another one from our friend Chris. He also wants to know: have you ever secretly did a number two on the bus? Because the number one bus rule is no pooping on the bus, right?
No, no, and it would be silly to because we're all sharing that same bus. And on the hot days, on the hot days when the sun starts to heat up the receptacle tank, it would not be smart for there to be number two in there. We're all breathing that same air. So no, I've
Uh,
never done that.
Matt, you've been on plenty of these NASCAR motorhomes and haulers. Are you guilty of this?
No, no, I'm not guilty. I've been a a good driver in that regard.
Now I know Dominic's been in some motorhomes, but according to sources, I can't confirm or deny his behavior.
Oh man, there's so many ways you can go with this. I wasn't a motorhome, but I'll tell you what, Tyler. I won't name the driver, but I may or may not have clogged the toilet one time, and I had to use a quick Google search on how to unclog a mess without a plunger. I'll leave it at that. And we got it done. We got it done. But I won't name the driver. I won't name what city location it happened. But hey,
That's
things
good.
happen sometimes you just can't plan for, man.
Yeah,
Tyler, I'm
yeah.
sure you have a story like that.
Yeah, I've
Press box somewhere, maybe the Fox Sports press box. Is that my guess?
I let's put it this way. There was an incident at the Super Bowl of all places.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, not ideal. We'll put it that way. I was trying to get back to the Airbnb as quickly as possible to change my pants. Yeah, that wasn't great.
Happens to the best of us. It's all right.
And it's just some of us haven't said the biggest game of the year. Yeah,
In more ways than one.
yeah, exactly.
There you go.